podcast about people making the world a better place.
All right, welcome everyone to episode 2,028 Aardvark Interviews. We have a sensational guest tonight. We may have another guest calling us from his latest vampire movie that he's an actor, dear friend of mine, Christopher, later on in the show. Right now we have Cooper J. This is Aardvark Interviews. We meet here every weekly to discuss the ills of the world and to make the world a better place through laughter and just abject ignorance. I'd like to welcome Kellyanne, the Canadian Goose goddess, Dr. Hozey, our esteemed sociologist, who will tell us about things, violence and horror, how these affect the children, like myself. We got Cooper J., who's a famed director, a horror director himself, and he's been on our panel before. In fact, he's our in-house movie reviewer. If Cooper J says go see the film, you probably should go see it. If I say go see the film, just hide the children or something. I don't know. Kellyanne, what's the name of the production company? We'll try something.
Hello, Hooray.
Okay, and what's the name of the show?
Aardvark Interviews.
We went backwards there. What's the name of the Patreon account?
Aardvark Interviews.
Yeah, it's written right on the thing.
Yeah, I know.
And what's the name of the Patreon account for the production company?
Hello, Hooray Live.
And what's the name of the producer?
Teddy.
Yeah, that's a little pause. Dr. Hozey, how are you?
I'm doing pretty okay. I'm hanging in there.
I'm glad you could call in on the show today. Are you in New York or are you in Chile? Because I heard you were just giving a speech in Chile on native tribes, violence, and how we can help each other out. How did that go?
It wound up pretty good. The general subject matter was I parked my car at the airport, and then somebody took the airport. But besides that, I'm still hanging in there.
Wow, really cool.
They took the airport?
Exactly.
Yeah, I'll tell you about it later.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's almost like a metaphor.
You're scaring me now.
Metaphor.
That's an airport I'm not going to go to.
All right. I asked Kellyanne before the show if she knew who David Cronenberg is. And what was your answer, Kelly?
Of course I do.
He's Canadian, right?
Yeah, I heard yes, he's Canadian. So we all Canadians know each other, right?
Yeah, well, that's not exactly what Kellyanne said before the show. But Cooper J., you viewed this film yesterday or the day before, some shit. I'm in a time warp right now. What do you think?
It was an absolute masterpiece. I really have not enjoyed a movie so much in quite some time.
Okay, and it's called Crimes of the Future.
Oh, yeah, everything about it is just perfect.
Really?
Really. That's why I told you to see it this weekend.
Oh, are you typing? Yeah.
He's multitasking.
But yeah. Let's give the fingers a rest. All right, Cooper J., what did you like about the film?
I liked it posed some very interesting questions just around humanity's future. It takes place somewhere in the future. Viggo Mortensen, who's been in Cronenberg's few of his past films,
A History of Violence, as I recall,
and Eastern Promises.
Oh, he was in Eastern Promises. Okay.
Yeah. So they're killing it as a duo. But it takes place in the future where humans can no longer feel pain. So there's a lot of body parts getting chopped up because apparently sex is or surgery is the new sex in the future.
Holy shit!
Viggo Mortensen like grows organs inside of him, and that's like that makes him an artist in the future. There's a lot of questions about if I guess if you grow a new organ inside yourself, would you take it out because you think it's going to kill you, or do you think it could potentially, if you let nature run its course, it could actually be something of value?
Huh. What's that organ that we have that's pretty practically useless? What is that called?
Your appendix?
Ah.
Is that it?
I don't know. I know it's useless.
All right. So a very intelligent panel we have composed today. All right. I heard some criticism of this film because when I did my research, that it was pretty friggin' drastic. That it was pretty rough, if you know what I mean, to watch at times. I know you like that, but to the regular person who's not a horror auteur like yourself, somebody who just wants to see a movie, you know, they shouldn't bring the kids, right?
No, but you should never bring a kid to a Cronenberg film. I think a lot of his older stuff in the 80s was like beautifully done, but like kind of borderline exploitation, but still trippy. But now somehow he marriages the gross, like sick exploitation, but also as just like a phenomenal filmmaker. And just the pacing, the scenes, the acting, the storyline, everything was just like so incredibly done. And yeah, it had some really gross out scenes, but that's what he does, and it definitely does evoke emotions, and it makes you think.
Okay, but does this advance the plot?
Yeah, it does, because it brings you into the world.
I think one reviewer said that it draws you in at the most grotesque moments. So there must be something about the way he films it and the way that the story is shared that gets you, I guess, catches you unexpectedly at times, is what I would assume, not having seen it.
Yeah, definitely. There's one scene where all of a sudden it flashes and some guy's like sewn up, and he's got ears sewn into him all over his body, and you think it's shocking, and then 5 minutes later Viggo Mortensen and his artistic mind is like shitting on it. So it's actually kind of interesting in this future world where things that we find shocking, then the artist in the modern day is not.
Okay, so has shock value really gone up? You know, I mean, is he just trying to gross out the gross out?
No.
Is he just doing this for some frivolous effect? Or is he trying to make a point? What do you think the point is, Cooper J?
The point is, I don't know, because it's really hard when you haven't watched the film, but it makes you think of like what is actually human. Like if you're able to live off like eating cardboard and bricks, are you while there's no food in the world and people like regular humans are dying, like are you evolved, or are you someone that should be killed because you're not a human?
So these are people, though. They're not robots or humanoids or
No,
synthetic.
it tackles like the future of where like biohacking and like, I don't know, biohacking, software hacking shit, and our own like genetics, and the future of that and how that's going to merge and potential outcomes it could have.
What do you think about this shit, Kellyanne? Are you into the, like, say you had like a few extra organs, which, you know, would help right now, the poor dear. She's been kind of ill, and she still comes to the show, and she does everything. She's learning how to fly a friggin' plane now, even though, you know, she's been quite ill. You know, I commend you for that, Kellyanne. Do you think a couple of extra organs might help at this point?
Yeah, a couple extra organs would be absolutely wonderful. I I was just, that's what it got me right when you talked about the organs. Like I know they say, like there's so much with stem cell research and that, and, potentially that we can start kind of growing our old organs and whatnot. I'm kind of curious, Joss, if you would be one of those people that would have a spare set of organs on the side.
Yeah, I mean, if I could, I would love to just download my brain into a robot and live that way. I don't really feel connected to any strictly human guidelines. If anything can make me live longer, I'm down.
So you would rather be a robot?
Yeah, I would be fine if I could. Yeah, then I wouldn't have to sleep. I could stay up, never deteriorate.
Wow.
Yeah, you know what? That would be, I agree with you. I would much prefer to be a robot because I sleep very little as it is too. And if I could get away with life with not sleeping, that would be ideal. Just maybe zone out once in a while.
All right. So, the critics have been this way and that way about this film. Yeah.
I'm going to jump in about a thought I had, and that's that, in general, I think surgery, put it this way, a lot of people have respect for surgery, if not fear about having surgery, about the outcome, about what's going to happen, how is it going to heal, and so on. So the whole concept of using surgery as a not a fear protocol, but just something that gets under your skin, and you come in almost predisposed to really go deeply into the senses that he's trying to get across to you. The whole idea of like surgical violence, and I think in the movie he's basically considered a surgical performance artist, where there are actually observers watching him do these things. And one little snippet I saw, I think his hand slips and he's got a scalpel in somebody's chest, and he's, oh, sorry about that, but I cringe because I imagined the scalpel being in my chest and then that happening. So there's so many ways that I think a lot of us can relate to the fear and pain that we expect to come from surgery, that it comes in and it basically grabs you before you have a chance to defend yourself,
But this idea that they feel no pain, does this minimize human living, the worth of life itself?
No, I don't know. I actually thought the whole idea of like humans not being able to feel pain was like my least favorite part of the film. But the way they like tuck it in and use it as the foundation for like the rest of where the story goes, it works. Yeah.
I would say that feeling pain and discomfort, if we don't have that as a safeguard against stuff, we get pretty crazy. I mean, the whole idea of not putting your hand on the fire, and how once you've touched the fire, you know about it, remember it, and you don't want to put your hand back there. Right. All those lessons I think are lost if you don't actually feel pain. It's a matter of, so hell with it. Let me just leave my hand in the fire. Let's see what happens. That scares the shit out of me.
So if you can't feel pain, then what about boxing, or what Kellyanne likes to do at times is the octagon. She used to be a cage fighter and tape her fights sometimes from the arena and put them on TikTok. That's part of the reason she got banned too. But it's very successful on TikTok. But so would this end cage fighting?
Cage fighting would be so interesting. I would love it.
Much bloodier.
Oh my god!
Right? Is there violence? Do people?
Yeah, so that's the thing. That's why
ass?
I wanted you to see this movie.
I want to see this movie.
So, like, for example, there's a scene where this woman is doing an art thing, just like the doc was talking about, the performing art, and she cuts her face like totally open.
Oh, geez.
And she's saying this type of openness is beauty, and a girl goes up to her and is like, that, like, you're so inspiring. I never thought that, like, you just made me want to cut my own face open. because it's so like freeing and like you make it look so sexy, and it just makes you think totally different about how you view beauty, how you view freedom being beautiful. I mean, she did look hot with her face, and like when she had the confidence and shit, it was sexy, I gotta say.
It was sexy that her face was.
Yeah, she rocked it. It was crazy. I mean, I almost felt inspired. I would never cut my face open, but it was that type of power when you see artists like that and you see them flaunt something that you would never think was sexy, but they're acting like it is, and they kind of make you believe it with the shit that they say.
Right. Do you think any of this could be a possibility in the future?
Yeah, I felt like I saw a brief window into a possibility of what the future could be.
All right, let me ask you, Dr. Hozey, renowned sociologist, retired. What kind of future is this that my man Cooper J is talking about? What are the ramifications of this type of future? Are we desensitizing ourselves?
That's a key word there. I think it's almost like an all bets are off kind of environment where there's no limit to what you can or can't do. I think that one of the ideas that society in general is getting closer and closer to is the fact that the norms are just out the window now. There is no normal anymore. There's maybe if we're lucky, there's still average, but people, well, let's face it, people used to be constrained by a lot more in the past. And I think that it gave people a sense of comfort and safety. It's like a child that is controlled and told the facts of life while they're growing up, tend to have a more stable outlook on life and be more self-assertive and comfortable with life. And if you let a child make too many decisions too early, they wind up finding out that they've made mistakes, pay the price for those mistakes, and then become very tentative about how to live life. So I'm scared of a place where, well, put it this way, I think luckily I'm an old guy already, so I'm not going to have to worry too much about if life gets to that point. But I do have a fear for our society in general, for the young ones, for those that are, everybody's a victim today. So I'll leave it at that without getting into too many tangents.
Kellyanne, you're very quiet today. What the hell's going on?
I was just thinking, wow, you about you saying you're old and you're not going to have to live. Well, I'm going to be a robot, so I'm going to live through it all. I already got it in my head. I got to figure out how I'm going to put my brain in some robot and just, torment people much longer.
Well, I'm not kicking the bucket for a good time yet, but I'm just saying I'm not a little child. Anyway, go ahead.
Yeah.
So do people basically live forever in this?
No, they don't.
No.
Well, the thing what I'm confused is, okay, they don't feel pain in that. So are you saying like they're just you cut off an arm, you put another one on, or does it regrow an arm?
No, I think you would just bleed out. I don't. It's interesting, like how he creates this world and like there's rules in it, and he just shows you enough that you totally understand and believe it. Like some of this stuff where like Vigo's sitting in these beds and stuff, like it just like that's a future bed software program that he hacked to like make it do what he wanted it to do. So like there's a lot of shit there that just builds the world. And I don't really have answers to it, but it definitely is a lot of brain food if you were to watch it. So I don't know. I really loved it. It was phenomenal.
Surgery is the next.
I don't like what's happening with the body. In particular, what's happening with my body. This is why I keep cutting it up. What do you think they'd find inside it?
Outer space.
Whoops. Sorry.
Let us not be afraid to map the chaos inside. Let us create a map that will guide us into the heart of darkness.
Oh, shit.
It's
right,
very interesting.
Let me ask you this, Cooper J, and the panel itself. Do you think some people are aroused, or this becomes some kind of erotic pleasure, this butchery?
Yeah, but they touch on that in the movie, so definitely.
Christopher Riley is on the set of a film.
Yeah.
I think it's a vampire film or something. You know, Cooper J.
Yeah, actually, I'm on my way to it because I had a lot of traffic. So.
Is it a vampire film? Okay, thank you. Christopher J, I think, is playing the lead vampire. Because he's got those. He's got a leading man's looks, and I got kind of radio face. So there's that. Cooper J, out of 10 aardvarks, how many aardvarks would you give this movie?
I would do 9 or 10. I really think all of Cronenberg's latest films are 9s and 10s. He really just knows what he's doing.
Wow.
And the story is just so unique that it really felt like a merge of his early work and his new masterful technique of directing.
Okay. Didn't he do something in the 70s or 80s? I mean, he's had this project in his mind for a long time, I heard. This particular film.
It sure feels like that. And it would make sense because it does have a lot of things that make me think of like Videodrome and Existenzi from the 80s.
What do you most like about this film?
It was just perfect. It took you to a different world. It really made you, I don't know, I'm still thinking about it. So I think it's the questions that he raised. But the questions that he raised and the angle of approach that he took was just very, very different, very unique. I don't think anyone else could have come up with this story. And yeah, there's also on top of it, like crazy twists throughout the movie, like a lot of character development and like plot twists and shit you don't see coming. And it's just got everything.
Really?
Yeah.
Maybe I'll go. Did you see the movie with your pet Will, or maybe I'll go see it with Will?
No, but I have made him watch Existenzi, and that blew his mind. So I think he would go with you.
Existenzi? You mean existence, right?
Existenzi, I think, is how it's pronounced.
Okay, thank you. But we have a section of the show called Existenzi. Kellyanne's got the what is it called? Kellyanne's questions. I don't know if she's written anything down. I think her head's still in the skies. Poor dear's going under surgeries. And you know what? These surgeries, I don't think she likes them particularly, as opposed to the movie. And the gratuitous violence that we're seeing in today's society. No, I'm just kidding. All right, Kellyanne, do you have any questions for our wonderful guest, Josh? Cooper J. will keep his anonymity.
Okay, Cooper J, or do I just call you J?
Either. Cooper
Either?
J is cool. Yeah, either.
Okay, Cooper J. I was just wondering if they started selling organs on Amazon, would you purchase them? Or would you rather, or would you rather harvest like grow your own organs?
I think growing my own, but I would by the end of my life like to have like a taxidermy collection. So if it was like organs in formaldehyde, I would buy that. But if it was like trying to harvest, probably would want to do that myself.
Okay. Trying to stay with the theme. What is the weirdest way you've ever injured yourself?
The weirdest way would probably just be from like sitting on the couch and all of a sudden just like twisting my back out or something.
Coughing and throwing out your back.
Yeah, one of those that you just didn't see coming. But for the most part, rolling around in the grass, I got bit by a spider and had like a alien come out of my arm of like a giant pus ball like this big. That was one of the most painful things.
Yeah, I got bit by something when I was like in my 20s when I was playing baseball, and it bit me on my thigh. It took over a year. I had all these different really weird reactions, and it was like a triangle bite on my leg, and like I'd get all these weird bumps and these weird rashes, and it took a year. I don't know what bit me.
So
But
it
yeah,
was like
that just popped in my head when you said that. Some random weird thing.
It was a triangle shape. Do you think it
Yeah.
was the Illuminati that bit you, Kellyanne?
You know what? I have no idea. I went to so many doctors and they kept saying it was something different. And then one day I finally went to like this really top specialist, and everything was gone. It was like, yeah, it was fine. It took about a year, and it was like I had a reaction and it had to work its way through my body. But I got all these, like, it looked like I had hickeys all up my arms and stuff. And there was dots, and then there was bumps it was, yeah.
Well,
we didn't have pictures
Let me pause you for a second, Kellyanne, and let me ask the panel a question. If there's no pain involved or anything like this, would you self-mutilate? Let's start off with Cooper J.
No.
Dr. Hozey, would you self-mutilate?
I think, hell no. I think that, well, put it this way. Why people might do it might be a whole gamut of possibilities, but for me, it's, I mean, I used to smoke cigarettes for years, and I didn't realize that I was committing slow suicide. And there's much better things to do with my body than to mutilate it.
Right,
and I'm not talking about artwork like ink. I'm talking about mutilation. I think it's not healthy.
Okay, one reason might be, to answer your question, my esteemed friend, Dr. Hozey, curiosity. Did you ever yank something out of your ear or something, like a wax thing or something, and then you got to look at it? You can't just not look and put it in a tissue or some shit. You got to be like, what did it look like? That ever happened to you?
I had a doctor pull some weird looking wax out of my ear.
Did you look?
I never tried to do that myself. Oh yeah, very interesting.
Yeah.
Like you wouldn't think a tube that long could fit in your head, See,
this is intriguing to me because I would hack some things off, maybe, so just to see what's up, because I'm a curious person, and that's got me.
You would only do it one time, though.
One time? What do you mean?
It wouldn't be there anymore when you're finished.
No, but then you could hack other things, right?
Oh, of course, yeah.
But they grow back or something, or we don't know about that yet. Or we could grow our own.
Yeah, I think.
Kellyanne.
Or just be without it.
Kellyanne, would you hack away?
I think I would. I think it would be like, I could just imagine, cutting my finger and looking at the bone, and you know what? I think I probably would experiment on myself. Well, maybe on others more than myself, but yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, I'm gonna go yes, but I have one more question, because I get 3 questions, right?
Well, you get 5 if you want.
Okay.
This show's going into the ground tonight, so you could ask 28 questions.
Okay, Cooper J, how many emails have you been avoiding answering this week?
Have I avoided? It's only Monday. I have 53,000 unread email messages.
Look at that, 100%.
53,000? Okay, no wonder you never got back to me. No, just kidding.
17%.
The audience score is really that low?
Yeah, look at that. Wow.
What the fuck?
Yeah, a lot of the audience is sickened by this movie, the gratuitous violence.
Ugh.
And I don't know what the hell this is. This is fucking Sonic the Hedgehog now.
Yeah, it's pretty shitty.
Yeah. Did you see that, Sonic?
Yeah.
What's around in there?
It's a brand new organ. never before seen. We've all felt that the body was empty. Empty of meaning. And we've wanted to confirm that, so that we could fill it with meaning.
The world is a much more dangerous place now that pain has all but disappeared.
Surgery is sex, isn't it?
Is it?
You know it is. Surgery is the new sex.
And I don't like what's happening with the body. In particular, what's happening with my body. Which is why I keep cutting it up. What do you think they'd find inside it?
Outer space.
Whoops. Sorry.
Let us not be afraid to map the chaos inside. Let us create a map that will guide us into the heart of darkness.
All right, so some of the lines in the script kind of make me ill more than the gratuitous violence. Let us map the chaos that is inside, you know. All right, so I think you could write a much better script than that, Mr. Cooper J. I mean, it was tormenting, some of those words, you know. They seem trite to me, but are they employing alien technology, Kelly?
I do. Yeah, maybe they are. Maybe they are.
What do you think, Dr. Hozey?
I know some freak of nature's going on. I mean, you know, to have 40 ears and then to make it artwork to cut them off in front of people. I don't know about alien, but it's certainly alien to me. I'd stay away from that kind of stuff.
What? Are we bothering you, Cooper J? Let me ask you a question, brother. What about sexual organs?
Who is that directed to?
Cooper J.
What about sexual organs?
Right.
Like if you should grow more?
Well, can you grow more? What happens if you want to cut off the pee-pee?
They don't really go into that.
Ah.
I honestly wish the movie was 10 hours long, so I could have saw more of that world, but...
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
I think they talk about growing more organs rather than growing the one you have more. But that's something that might be interesting.
Yeah, could you grow it bigger? Could you grow the organ bigger?
Who knows?
I think if what they're doing, they probably could. I think they probably could.
Yeah, it could have. Should it have been a series like a lot of movies? Huh. Interesting question.
Yeah, there's definitely enough there to play with for a couple seasons at least.
Do you think maybe this will be turned into a TV series?
No, judging by the reviews, it seems like it's not a crowd favorite.
All right, let me ask you about your personal life right now. Kellyanne, ask Cooper J something about his personal life.
What's the next exciting thing that you're going to be doing today?
What the hell? Is she still in the airplane?
I was going to give you a week, but no, just today.
Today, just probably, I ordered some things from nuts.com.
Oh, man, that place is a ripoff, dude.
It's not a ripoff.
They charge like 3 times the price of chocolates.
Is that what this is? It's chocolate?
They're Monkey Crunch or something.
Monkey Crunch, Munchy Ass Crunch.
It's the most addicting shit I've come across in a minute.
Yeah.
Oh wow. Well, I'll definitely stay away from it.
But personally, and the tie into shameless promotions. You just finished a film, didn't you, Kupache?
Yeah. Even
What's
Monsters.
the story on that? This may have been your most bone-chilling, feverish film to date that I've seen. So
yeah, it's going to be interesting to see what kind of response it gets from film submissions when it's released to the world.
do you care what people think about your films?
No,
Oh, interesting.
I'm personally very happy with it. It's way better than anything I ever thought I could have done. So I hope. I mean, any acceptance to a film festival will please me, but at the same time, I do think it's pretty fucking good. So I do hope and think it should get some notice.
When you look at a film like Cronenberg's Crimes of the Future, are there some things that are ingrained in your mind, and then the next film you do, you'll take a loan from something he did, like a technique that he
Yeah, I
employed?
definitely was inspired by this film, and would definitely take a lot into even my next film. I don't know, just the whole idea of like creating a window into a possible future was really eye-opening to me, of how you can kind of just choose the rules and then create this world and all these different things happening, and like just dive into that. This right here is some music inspired by the film.
By your film?
Yeah, this is Anna.
Oh wow! Did I see this?
Help me! Get me out!
Who's that poor guy?
I don't know, his voice sounded familiar.
Yeah, he sounds really bad.
Sounded like the Aardvark.
Anna looks so hot there. Wow.
No.
More and more dark and smoky and black and like red and smeary, smoky and black and like
Oh, shit.
more and more dark and smoky and black and like red and smeary, smoky and black and like
Wow.
No.
Yeah, man. There you go.
I love the laugh. I love the laughing.
I'll
Sensational.
tell you one thing
It's
about
so nice and creepy. Yeah.
the way you use the lighting and the way you use the camera angles. I would have liked to see you have the budget that Cronenberg had to see what you would have done with it. That had the same vein to it, the same kind of freakiness to it, you know?
Same, brother. Me too. That's the dream. But yeah, Cronenberg's a huge inspiration for me. So I would not be surprised if anyone could see some of that in the film.
It's there.
I don't know who that male actor is, but he needs to be on a treadmill immediately.
I thought you are beautiful. Talk about beauty.
No. He needs some body parts cut out immediately.
I get you naked in all my films.
I want you to scream. Yeah, but not in my fucking ear. Permanent damage from this film.
You do.
No.
Okay.
She's gonna pet me and then she's gonna stab me.
Yep.
I don't understand.
All
You
right.
want me to slit his throat?
Yep.
Do you want me to pull his head back in and slit his throat?
Yeah, but
Yeah, why not?
be gentle because he's angry.
Oh, sorry.
Oh, dude, that was so good. That was perfect.
What was it?
The Aardvark.
I love that.
Such a diva.
Such a diva. Yeah, let's talk about the props we used, diva. Yeah.
Not.
Diva. Nobody would. I'm a fucking nose to the grindstone actor, man. So don't, diva. No.
No diva.
My life could have been snuffed out like that. So, diva my ass, boy. All right. So, Dr. Hozey, do you have anything to say to our immortal horror auteur, Cooper J? Also on Instagram as Kid and Nasty. So check that out.
Well, I guess what I'd say is, I think your comfort with yourself, the idea that you do it in a way that you want to appreciate, is the best way to get other people to appreciate your work. And I think I mean, it takes a lot of balls to say, I could probably sell this better if I did this, that, but I think it should be this way. And assuming that that's what you're doing, I think you've got your trigger pointed in the right direction. Pull it, you know?
Thank you, Doc. You got away with words.
I wish somebody would pull it. All right, let's go to Kellyanne with that question. What do you think, Kellyanne?
What was the question?
It's not even here today.
No, actually, what I was thinking? I was thinking, well, if the world was like that, where we can grow, harvest organs and that, well, why don't people, instead of eating bricks and concrete, why wouldn't we just start eating organs? Just growing a bunch of organs and eating that. Sorry, that's exactly what I was thinking about.
Oh, that's cool.
That's a good thought.
That's really excellent. That is excellent. There's our lovely Anna.
Oh, there's the Aardvark again, shirtless.
Anya. Right. Yeah, he gets me naked in every movie. Yeah, it seems to be his plan in life is to get me naked.
But it's because you have that confidence.
Well, yeah, an exceptional actor.
I think you're beautiful on the screen.
I am beautiful, but thank you. I appreciate that. And it's lovely always working with you, without a doubt, because you take chances in films, which brings me to the question, is there a line that we should not cross, Cooper J? Is there a line where it's just too fucking much?
Not in any film. I think only in a human perspective, working with the actors, there could be too much.
Yeah, but films are human perspective as well, so I don't understand.
If everyone's on board and no one actually gets hurt and psychologically everyone seems pretty on board with the storyline and subject, I say balls to the wall, do it.
Really?
I agree.
What do you think, Kellyanne?
No, I completely agree. It just, I like what Dr. Hozey said too, is like, just make films that you appreciate and that you love and that you're proud of, and keep going forward, because like I make videos all the time, and I may put them up for 24 hours and take them down. Like I make videos all the time, and I don't do it because I want people to like them. I do it because I like it, and I really don't give a fuck what anyone else thinks.
Well, that's why TikTok threw you off after like millions of followers left out in the cold. Sorry, I have to leave now. They threw me out. But, that dog almost fucking bit me. I'll tell you the truth. So this diva shit, I mean,
I still can't believe that Cooper J's dog doesn't like you. Like you just seem to be like a person that dogs like.
He had his muzzle around my neck.
That's just wow.
Look at this.
Yeah,
you must have been you must have had steak or something in your hair.
Yeah, he's feeding raw meat to the dog.
She's pretty hardcore.
Now, she's tough as nails, but she was growling.
Yeah, she grew up on the streets in New Orleans.
Well, yeah, okay.
She's beautiful.
She loves you, though.
Yeah, because I saved her.
But she mostly likes only women. Isn't that true?
Yep.
Because she got along okay with Anya.
Yeah, no, she doesn't. She barks at like all men, but women, she gets it.
She saw my fat ass come in, and she said, lunch. So
maybe we'll put you in a wig next time.
Yeah, I think that
I don't think a wig will work.
She could smell.
Dogs are much more intelligent than that.
You can smell the stench moving into the apartment. So, but Cooper J's doing wonderful work, and all the film festivals he's attended and everything. And do you think your next movie? Well, could you tell the audience what the name of your next film's going to be, or is that too much?
After Even Monsters Sleep?
The name of your next movie.
I don't have a name. I don't even have.
No, the movie that you just finished.
Oh, Even Monsters Sleep?
Even, what is it?
Monsters Sleep.
Even Monsters Sleep. Why? Why that title? What does it mean?
It doesn't. It may be hard for some people to figure out. I'm interested to see how people interpret it, but I came up with it because I was thinking the movie inspired by Harvey Weinstein, and I just thought about him like assaulting women during the day. Then he would go home, go to sleep, wake up the next
like
morning,
a baby kind of thing.
Go to his office. Everyone wait on him hand and foot, and it was just the fact that monsters still sleep. They're still human. They're not like up, like always like stalking prey in the middle of the night. They could just be sleeping and hiding in plain sight.
Wow.
You know, I'm going to throw a question at you, Josh. Do you think, like, talking about him for an example, do you think that people like that even realize that they're doing something wrong? Like, you know, that they're just sick and they don't even realize that they're doing anything wrong?
Good question.
That's why they sleep
I
at
would
night.
think they're doing. They know they're doing something wrong because I'm sure they hide it in some capacity. But I would think their egos are too big, or they don't just give a shit, or they take pleasure out of it. But yeah, I would think they know that it's got to be wrong on some level.
It's weird because when you talk about a psychopath, I'm not sure that they're working from the same set of rules as most people are.
That's also true.
There might not be.
I feel that they don't feel the same way, so it doesn't, like, you know what I mean. So it isn't like really, you know, like just
so
you
they
know,
don't know the
not a
difference.
big deal.
They don't know the difference between right and wrong. Is that what you're?
No, I think
No,
I think
they're justified
they
in doing
know.
what they're doing through their own set of rules, I think.
Wow.
Yeah. Like I'm just wondering, like, if you turned it around and you put what they do on someone else, if it would be, well, that was no big deal. Like it still wouldn't sink in the same way.
Paul Nutty.
Aardvark Nutty.
Yeah.
But you know, on the other hand, I think a lot of us, I should speak for myself. There are times when I catch myself doing things
gonna be a
that I would
movie
not like other people to do, and I justify it for myself. You know, if you only knew where I was coming from, you'd do it too, kind of stuff. So it's a gray area, you know.
Yeah.
D.
I agree.
D.
Talk to me!
This is your dream, right? Did I make it come true for you? Is it a dream fulfilled? Are you coming?
D. Please.
Are you a star? Or are you a victim? Victim dilemma. Which one are you?
That's fucking intense. Well, that Anna could sing too. Wow, that's fucking hot. It's hot.
Is there some way to see that movie?
Do you think Dr. Hozey and Kellyanne could be in a movie one day?
Yeah.
Is there a certain look you look for in people?
It's almost like I look at them and then build the character around where my imagination goes.
Interesting.
Like the doc mentioned that I think he said he was in Chile or something, so I'm almost seeing like what I'm picturing of like a doctor out in like the jungle.
Yeah.
But then I would probably go somewhere very dark or twisted with it.
Or like towards Kevorkian.
There we go.
But is there a way to see your film?
Not yet. I'm starting to submit it to film festivals for 2023. So we'll definitely keep you all posted on any film festivals showing it or anything of the like.
Wow.
Yeah, I can't wait to see it.
Oh, When is the third film in the series? Oh, trilogy. Oh,
This guy knows his stuff. We'll see. We'll see how the reaction is to this film, and then play it by ear.
what do you think the reaction's going to be?
I don't know. I really have no idea, because it is pretty experimental. And even when I'm looking at the list of like Tribeca films for this year at their film festival, like everything is very clean and professional. And with my budget and my current style, that's not really that. So it'll be interesting.
But why not try for the big fish?
Yeah, I mean, if I could have $5,000 to buy a nice camera, I think that would improve the quality.
What does it cost to submit to Tribeca?
I mean, the cost I don't think is that much. If you
Yeah.
subscribe to Film Freeway, it's, I don't know, maybe $40 or so.
Yeah. What was the budget of this film around?
All in all, this film probably cost me like $2,000 to make.
That's all?
Yeah, I mean, I had the camera, I did all the editing myself. Just had the guy master the sound, did all the audio, fixed it up. Yeah, it was pretty resourceful. Really, the only money was towards like those dangerous props, the few costumes, the booking some of the setting areas.
That's amazing. Good for you.
2,000. It's amazing. What do you think, Dr. Hozey?
I think it's amazing what you can do with $2,000. I mean,
Fucking incredible.
to put it this way, you know, if you have a good idea and you have a way of trying to express it to other people so they can do what you want on the other end of the camera, you're ahead of the game. And Cooper J, man, I think you got that. So
well, just all the money that you save from doing a lot of shit on your own, right? Like the editing and that's time consuming. But
Yeah,
you put
but
the
it's
money in the right
also
part for the sound,
it's also
right?
like I taught myself the editing, so it is
Right.
very choppy, and it fits the story because the story is choppy and going between different worlds and stuff. But to the mainstream audience or something, it's not. I don't go approach editing the way someone who's trained to be a professional editor would.
Well, I think you did a fabulous job. I saw, of course, the full movie, and it's just fabulous, you know, with no training or whatever. You know, the Aardvark himself didn't get much training as an actor because he was busy doing other things. But yeah, he turned out okay anyway. So
I mean, the film would not be what it is if it wasn't for the Aardvark and Anna Mayo, the actress. I mean, they improv'd a lot of the scenes, and it was just a really beautiful dynamic that turns into a terrifying film.
yeah, I know. And there is such a line between torture and love.
Bring it full circle.
That's actually true. You're very
What do you
true about
think?
that.
We're going to close in a minute. What do you think about that statement, Kellyanne?
Oh, well, like I said, very true, very true. I think there is a very fine line between torture and love. Or, I mean, whatever. Yeah.
Yeah, whatever. It's good. Whatever's good.
Stuck on my head.
All right. So the final quote of the day. Quote of the day. Shameless promotions. Dr. Hozey, are you going back to the jungles?
I'll be going there eventually, but I'm on a hiatus for a while, and you know, I'm going to focus more on pleasure and pain than anything else right now.
Pleasure and pain.
I mean,
Where does one begin?
Scratch an itch and it feels good at first, but if you keep scratching until you hit blood, you went too far. You know, it's like.
Wow, that's freaky as shit.
I just want to
Kellyanne,
go put my hand on the stove right now.
Kellyanne, what do you have in store? Now, you're learning to fly planes and this and that, and it's costing you a fortune to do this. Isn't that correct?
It probably will cost. Yeah, it's going to cost a lot of money.
It costs like 20,000 or something.
No, we'll put the number up a lot more.
It's
all said and once all said and done, it's going to be probably close to about 50, 70,000.
Wow, you get some money from that TikTok, huh? Nice. But why do you want to fly a plane?
Because I was terrified of planes, and it just I love to be walking on a tightrope. I for some reason,
are you a
pain is pleasure to me, and if I'm if I'm in a lot of fear, it keeps me on the straight, I guess. So then I'm not like fucking up other people's worlds.
Well, we just do that.
Feeling alive, huh?
Yeah, exactly. That's one way of being alive, is being afraid. So.
All right, Cooper J, if I could get you away from your text messages for a second, what would you like to promote at this time?
At this point, I would really like to promote the Crimes of the Future, and I think everyone should go to the movies. It's worth $17 that movie theaters are charging these days.
How much is it?
The Regal near me was $17.
I don't even know what they cost anymore. I haven't been out of the apartment in 3 years. All right, so.
But it was worth it. It was worth it. It's still giving me food for thought.
You think it's in Canada?
I would hope so. It is a Canadian.
He is a Canadian? Because he is Canadian?
She didn't even know. Yeah.
Well, no, you know what? I'm gonna look it up, and I'm gonna go, probably not this week, but next week. I'm gonna go see it in the theater by myself, and I'm gonna laugh. Just to freak people out.
Oh, wow.
I'm gonna have that creepy laugh.
Back to the octagon. All right.
Yeah.
I'd like to thank our special guests, Cooper J. It is a wonderful film coming out called he gives high ratings to the new film by Cronenberg, Crimes of the Future. Would you give it, a 9 out of 10 or a 10 out of 10?
Yeah, 9 to 10 out of 10.
All right, 9 to 10 out of 10. So thank you for your review. It may gross out some people, but if you have a nasty little 10-year-old, bring them to the movie. All right, and thank you, Dr. Hozey, for coming out of the jungle and into the light. And the light is the Aardvark Interviews. Each Monday, 5:30 to 6:30 p.m. Muted is going to be on site, going on. Teddy, do you want to say anything about Muted before we end this show? Teddy? All right. So this is going to be a digital series. The Aardvark himself is going to be in this because he believes in this project. So we're doing that. We're filming that as we go. And some sensational acting, not just me, which, you take for granted. But there are other very good actors out there and everything. So I'd like to thank everybody. What's the name of the production company?
Hello, Hooray.
What's the name of the teledrama?
Muted.
Okay. I'd like to thank everybody. Thank you, Teddy, who's kind of here today, but, what can I say? I can't yell at the guy because he does everything. He brings up these videos and everything. Could I do that? No, I don't know what the fuck I'm doing. All right. So thank you, everyone. And I'm going to start cutting off some organs now. Thank you.
I'm going to eat them.
Sweet. Well, he couldn't wait to get the hell out of here. This was like pulling teeth.
He needs to catch up on his 5,000 emails. Give the guy a break.
Oh, he hates coming here. Yeah.
Let's all keep our heads on, and we'll see you next time.
Is the head an organ?
We need that one. Not unless we get a robot, though. Okay, I think we can just leave, because usually that's what Teddy lets us do, is just
yeah. Is that how it works now?
I don't know. I guess so. Love you, Teddy. Bye.
And bring some extra ears when you go see that movie so you can throw them around.
I'm actually excited. I can't wait to go see it.
Wow, you're such a, wow.
Goodbye, guys.
Goodbye. Thank you, Kelly. She's so hot.